Y'all already know what I'm gonna say, right? I should probably order a t-shirt that says it, because I know somebody has a t-shirt out there that says it. Stay out of the water. Don't believe me? Check this out.
Pictures went viral of this mako shark just absolutely decimated from the head down.
A rare catch in Texas Gulf waters. A local fisherman landed a massive great hammerhead shark.
After 45 minutes of us getting beat up by waves and the fish not doing much, we called it. I mean, she didn't make it.
There is no end to the thrill in the middle of the ocean. Be it mythical monsters from the depths or massive creatures from prehistoric times.
The sheer size and magnitude finally hit us.
Once you are out on the unforgiving waves, expect anything that defies belief. Let's witness the sea monsters beyond our imagination.
Oh my God!
It's ugly.
It's just
what it is.
A man was locked in an unexpected wrestling match. But not with another human, but with a massive nurse shark. And it wasn't your typical WWE showdown here. A group of fishermen was doing their job when suddenly something massive latched onto their hook. It was none other than the giant nurse shark, putting up quite the fight. Our hero attempted to lift it onto the boat, but the shark had other plans. It grabbed onto the man's shoulder and tried to escape, but the man reeled the shark in again, this time successfully pulling it aboard. With a careful hand, he removed the hook from its mouth and set it free once more.
Oh, I got you out of my hand. It's okay.
Y'all are crazy. Anybody ever tell y'all that? If nobody's ever told y'all that, I'll tell y'all that. Y'all are crazy.
Apex catch.
great white shark. Caught right off the Squamicut.
Back in 2018, a commercial fishing crew off Rhode Island hit the jackpot with some unexpected company, a 6-foot great white shark. What a surprise catch of the day! And you know what was even crazier? The beast was alive and kicking.
Plenty of life in them.
Now that's something you don't see every day. The crew wasted no time in documenting this epic moment, a first in their 20 years of fishing. But what happened next, well, it was quite heartwarming. They didn't keep the shark for a trophy. Nope, they quickly got it back in the water by giving it a tail-assisted lift overboard, and the shark rolled around the boat's prop before swimming off into the deep blue. Now that was a fishy tale with a happy ending.
See ya.
Hammerhead shark.
Rare catch in Texas Gulf waters. A local fisherman landed a massive great hammerhead shark over the weekend.
2018, in the Texas Gulf waters, a local angler landed the catch of a lifetime, a massive great hammerhead shark.
Got picked up by a shark that most people dream of.
And this wasn't an everyday fish story. Nope, this hammerhead measured a whopping 14 feet long and tipped the scales at over 1,000 pounds. But things got a little tricky when the fisherman tried to return it safely, but the shark didn't make it. That's when netizens started brewing on social media. But let me set the record straight. The angler was no villain. In fact, he was a big advocate for shark safety. And let me tell you, he even donated over 4,000 pounds of meat to those in need. Indeed, a catch with a heart.
After 45 minutes of us getting beat up by waves and the fish not doing much, we called it. I mean, she didn't make it.
Rod and reel.
Veteran shark killer Captain Frank Mundus and his friend Don Braddock have done it again, this time reeling in what is being called a world record.
Back in 1986, Frank Mundus, the legendary fisherman from Australia, caught the biggest catch of his lifetime. Near Long Island, the veteran shark wrangler and his buddy were doing what they did best, fishing for sharks. But this time they reeled in a real monster. It was a great white shark that tipped the scales at over 3,500.
Did that fool just use the shark's teeth to open his beer? I ain't gonna lie, I liked it. I like that. I wish I could have been there. I'd enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Nah, I would have had to make sure he was dead all the way. I done seen way too many movies where they thought sharks were dead. As soon as they get close, the shark wakes up and takes a nice little bite out of an arm or something like that. Yeah. That's too close. They were too close.
Pounds and over 17 feet. It was definitely a record breaker. Both of them managed to haul in this behemoth after a 2-hour struggle with just a rod and a reel. It was believed to be the largest great white shark ever caught with a rod and reel. And you know what? It literally shattered the 27-year record in Australia, which was just 1,000 pounds. It was a reminder of how wild the oceans could be.
That whale was only dead for 24 hours before we found him.
Big bite.
Pictures went viral of this mako shark.
Off the coast of New South Wales, Australia, fishermen have tales to tell that would make your hair stand on end. Take, for instance, the bizarre incident from March 2019, when a local angler hooked a 550-pound mako shark only to reel in just the head. And the rest of the body? Well, that remained a mystery. But when pictures of the shark surfaced on the internet, it ignited speculations about the existence of a megalodon shark prowling beneath the waves. According to experts, no known sea creature is capable of doing that with one of the toughest ocean predators. So what was the reality then? Could it be a real-life sea monster? Or is there any other possible explanation for that?
Seriously did cause some speculation as to what kind of mega predator could have caused a this big.
Giant squid.
Tourists around the world want to know what's going on off the coast of Ireland.
On the coast of Ireland, there is something extraordinary beneath the waves. Something was definitely going on at the coast of Ireland, as in 2017, giant squids were hauled in by fishermen for 2 months straight. This giant squid measured a whopping 20 feet in length. It was a rare sight indeed. All these elusive creatures are super introverts and are seldom seen on the surface. In fact, only 7 of these giants have been captured in Ireland for the past 3.5 centuries. And you know what? 4 of these creatures have been reeled in by a single family. Now that was impressive.
Big. The squid? Incredible. Yeah. You like calamari? Not bad. Yeah. Not my favorite, but not bad.
Sea snake. Out on the Black Sea, a group of tourists were cruising on a boat without a care in the world. But then out of nowhere, they spotted something strange in the water. At first, they thought it was just manatees playing in the waves. But as they drew closer, they realized the creature was nothing but a manatee. It had a neck like a giraffe and a face straight out of the dinosaur age, like a blast from the past, resembling those ancient plesiosaurs that roamed the seas millions of years ago. And you know what's even crazier? After reviewing the footage, the experts were confused too. Could it be that these prehistoric giants are staging a comeback? Or is there any other possible explanation? Loch Ness. Recently, marine scientists were on a routine expedition when they witnessed stuff of legends. While eyeing the water, they noticed something strange there, so they zoomed in with their camera and recorded this. A creature resembling Loch Ness emerged from the water and made a splash. It happened so fast and most of them were not able to watch, so they decided to go down in the water. What a daring step, wasn't it? They geared up and went down to find not 1 or 2, but many, all swimming around them. Soon the internet buzzed with speculations. Were those the fabled Loch Ness monster or just a clever trick of the camera? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Mekong catfish. We all know catfish can grow to some pretty impressive sizes, but let me tell you about the king of them all, the Mekong giant catfish. On a fateful day in January 2019, a local fisherman reeled in a catch that defied belief. This monstrous macaw of a catfish measured over 9 feet long and tipped the scales at a whopping 650 pounds. Experts verified the catch and declared it not just the largest catfish ever, but quite possibly the biggest freshwater fish in history. Now that's what I call a fishy tale for the ages. Blue marlin. A big fish is caught with a big bait, and this saying proved true in this case. A group of fishermen were in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on the hunt for the ultimate catch. Soon they spotted something massive jumping out of the water. It was none other than the majestic blue marlin, the king of the sea. Without skipping a beat, they cast their hooks and bait into the water, hoping to hook this legendary giant. And guess what? They hit the jackpot. This fish was so massive that their boat looked like a mere toy in comparison. With some serious wrestling skills, they managed to haul in the behemoth. Indeed, it was the catch of their lifetime. Zombie fish. Have you ever heard of a zombie fish? If not, have a look at this one. A man was strolling by a peaceful lake when suddenly he spotted something straight out of a horror movie. Underneath the bridge was a creature with a bizarre face. It was a fish with eerily human-like features staring right back at him. And let me tell you, when the man shared his footage online, wild theories started flying left and right. Some swore it was a zombie fish out for blood, while others suspected it was a mutant creation from some eccentric scientist's lab. But hold on, because after a bit of digging, it was revealed that it was just a harmless triggerfish, probably looking at the world outside the pond. Prehistoric shark. In January 2021, on a peaceful afternoon in Japan, a sharp-eyed diver spotted something moving in the shallow waters. And what did he find? None other than a living relic. A prehistoric shark. As this video went viral, people started throwing wild theories like a zombie, monster, or a shark from the prehistoric era. Now before you start
all you gotta believe is they're aliens, bro. They come from other planets. That's why they look like this. I made peace with it a long time ago. Meteor with these carrying these things, possibly in eggs or embryos or whatever they're in, carries these things here. They go in the water. They grow. They hatch. They grow. They adapt, and they look like that. Simple.
Imagining a scene from Jurassic Park, hold on. Experts revealed the truth. It was the elusive frilled shark, a rare and ancient creature rarely seen near the sea surface. With its slender body and 6 sets of gills, this living fossil was like a window into the past, resembling sharks from millions of years ago. Vomit of gold. Let me spin you a yarn about a treasure hunt like no other. The quest for whale vomit, or it's scientifically known ambergris. In 2023, a group of Yemeni fishermen set sail after a tip about a whale carcass. Now, the smell of decomposing flesh might turn most people away, but for these fishermen, it was the sweet scent of opportunity. Inside that whale carcass, they found ambergris, a substance worth its weight in gold and diamonds. This solid, waxy treasure found was a key ingredient in perfumes, granting scents their long-lasting allure. But the question is, why not everyone knows about this? Well, ambergris is a hidden gem due to the ban on whale hunting. Craned giant. In 2012, on a busy harbor of Karachi, something colossal came out of the waves, which drew the attention of the locals like moths to a flame. But why? Well, what they found was a 36-foot carcass of a whale shark. Some local fishermen discovered the lifeless giant. And let me tell you, the giant was a real showstopper, weighing in at a whopping 7,000 kilos. And you know what? It took not 1, but 2 cranes to haul the giant out of the water. But how did this beauty end up like this? The exact reason for its demise was unknown. But some marine life experts suggested it might be caused by water pollution. Seriously consider working on that. Shark frenzy. In 2021, a group of fearless scientists was on a mission to study basking sharks when they witnessed a scene straight out of a horror movie. As they cruised through the waters off East Boston, Massachusetts, they came across the carcass of a humpback whale surrounded by a frenzy of hungry great white sharks and dive-bombing birds. It was a wild scene out there, with those big sharks going to town on the poor whale calf. But within the chaos, those smart scientists managed to tag 5 of those hungry sharks to monitor them even more closely. So even in the craziest moments of the deep blue sea, there's always something new to discover. Sea monster. Now this will make you do a double take. A man on the seashore was bent over as he was picking up treasure. But the thing was, the treasure he was after wasn't gold or pearls.
What is that? That looked like something straight out of the Venom movie. Like, what is that?
It was something downright bizarre. It was this snake-like thing, pitch black and swirling in the water around him. Now, you might think this was some deep-sea monster or the remnants of a legendary kraken, right?
Is that oil? The more I'm starting to look at it, I'm like, fool, is that oil?
Well, there is a simple explanation to this. According to the experts, it was just ordinary seaweed doing its thing.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know why I would think it was oil, but now the fact that they're saying it's seaweed, I'm back to being like, what is that?
And growing wild. So next time you spot something strange in the sea, remember that sometimes the simplest explanation is the true one. Manta ray. Let's have a tale about a whopper of a discovery made by a group of Peruvian fishermen. In 2015, out of the northwest waters, some local anglers caught something massive, a manta ray tipping the scales at over a ton. This behemoth swam right into their net as they were out trolling for fish in their trusty homemade wooden boat. But here's where it got even wilder. The manta ray measured a whopping 26 feet long. It was so colossal that they had to call in a tow truck to transport it back to shore. In ancient Peru, these majestic creatures were feared for their size, but it turns out they're actually pretty chill. Or maybe not. Colossal cephalopod.
Holy! You're kidding! That is so huge!
Back in 2023, a family out near Vancouver Island was trying to catch some prawns for dinner. They tossed their prawn trap into the water, expecting a modest haul of crustaceans. But when they reeled it back in, they were in for a surprise of epic proportions. A giant octopus was clinging to the sides of their trap. I'm talking so big that the trap looked tiny in comparison. Now, here's where it got interesting. According to the experts, octopuses can grow to impressive sizes, and this one was just curious about what had ventured into its territory.
That's a big octopus. You want to grab it? I want to eat it, but I don't know how to.
Alien fish. A group of unsuspecting men stumbled upon a creature downright bizarre. With its alien-like appearance, it was enough to make anyone do a double take. But these guys? Well, they weren't satisfied with just staring. They had to go ahead and poke it with a stick. Let me tell you that this thing was not pleased by it. So what on earth, or maybe not of this earth, was this freaky critter? Turns out it was none other than the eel goby, a type of fish with a menacing exterior but a surprisingly harmless nature. Despite its scary looks, this rare fish is more gentle, with its small, glass-like teeth posing little threat to us humans. Sometimes the scariest looking creatures are the least deserving of our fear. Wolffish.
Oh my God, Chica! They were not joking!
A group of seasoned fishermen were casting their lines in search of the next big catch. But what they reeled in wasn't your average fish. It was a wolffish, the ocean's version of the apex predator. This fish was massive, with a reputation for its aggressive nature, and those fishermen decided to put its ferocity to the test. So they placed a soda can near it, and let me tell you, that can didn't stand a chance.
It exploded! Oh my word!
But before things got too hairy, they made the wise decision of releasing the beast back into the depths where it belonged. After all, even the fiercest creatures of the sea deserve their freedom. Living fossil.
Still don't believe me when I say stay out the water? Oh, okay. All right. Take your own chances with your own life, then. You got it.
Along the upper Fraser River, two fishermen set sails on their very first sturgeon fishing adventure. But soon, they caught a monstrous sturgeon. And it wasn't any ordinary one, estimated to be a whopping 10 feet long and weighing a jaw-dropping 700 pounds. After a grueling 2-hour struggle, they emerged victorious and captured the catch of a lifetime. And they put out the beast from the water. Its sheer magnitude left them in shock. According to the experts, lake sturgeons are ancient fish species with their distinctive elongated bodies. They are often referred to as living fossils. Some locals said that this was one of the biggest ones found in the upper Fraser River. After taking some photos, they tagged the beast and released it back into the wild.
And when that fish jumped out of the water, the sheer size and magnitude, finally hit us.
unknown sea monster. In 2018, a mystery sea monster washed up on a beach in the Philippines, and locals were terrified due to its presence. It was a creepy white blob, hairy and ominous, floating in the shallow waters of Mindoro. Some brave souls even approached it and poked the creature with sticks and snapped photos with it. But wait, here it got eerie. Some villagers believe this ghastly apparition could be a harbinger of doom, a semi-mythological sea creature which was responsible for natural disasters. Could it be true? Was this monstrous entity a sign from the depths? While officials suspected it was just a whale. So what are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments section. Bull shark.
Good evening. The Perth fisherman who reeled in a giant bull shark close to where Perth teenager Stella Berry was fatally attacked.
In 2023, a fisherman's tale sent ripples through Perth's waters. A seasoned angler named Kai Boyle reeled in a behemoth of a bull shark, just a stone's throw away from the shore. This 3-meter beast put up quite the fight, leaving Kai shaking with adrenaline. But instead of boasting about his catch, Kai chose to release the predator back into the river. While some may raise their eyebrows, the authorities backed his decision, as it was the law to release bull sharks of that size. Yet this action sparked much controversy, with environmentalists and locals divided on the matter. They said he shouldn't release the monster, as it could do harm to humans in that area. So what do you think about his action? Share them in the comments section.
I've never been shaking that much in my life. When I hooked it, I realized how big it actually is.
Sunfish. In 2021, a tuna fishing boat off the Mediterranean coast encountered an unexpected entanglement in its nets. The crew informed the experts about it. When they reached the spot, they discovered a sight to behold. It was a colossal sunfish, tangled and struggling. This mammoth creature measured a staggering 3.2 meters in length and 2.9 meters in width, which broke all the previous records of the area. The fish was so massive that even a 1,000-kilo scale struggled to bear its weight. With careful precision, they isolated the fish in an underwater chamber before hoisting it aboard using a crane. There, they would run some tests. Well, it was truly a monumental encounter in the world of marine biology. Eel goby. The world is full of scares, but this one took it to another level. Somewhere in Japan, a man was holding something downright bizarre. Gnarly-looking creatures with scary teeth that looked incredibly aggressive. The man handled them with extreme caution, even putting something in their mouths. When the footage went online, people threw wild theories about alien fish or monstrous species. But then, experts stepped in to clear the air. These weren't extraterrestrial invaders, but a rare fish called warasubo, typically found in Japan and the Korean peninsula. And you know what? In Japan, these creepy critters are used to make iconic dishes. Sometimes the scariest looking things can turn out to be surprisingly familiar.
Y'all nasty, man. Y'all eat anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all eat anything, man. This looks like a science experiment gone wrong and they just tossed it in the ocean and thinking nobody would ever find it. And if they did find it, it'll never trace back to them. It has to be a science. But y'all eating that, bro? Y'all actually eating? Y'all eat that, man. Forget your insides, bro. They're gonna be rotten.
Flying marlin. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And these fishermen truly understood this. After waiting the entire day, they finally landed an extraordinary catch, a massive blue marlin. Once it got hooked, the marlin put up a fierce fight by thrashing in the water and leaping wildly. It was a real fight. The battle reached its climax when the marlin made an incredible leap right into the boat. The excitement was so overwhelming that one of the fishermen was scared by the marlin's sudden entrance and jumped out of the boat right into the water. Well, in the end, their effort was rewarded with such an iconic fish, making their patience well worth it. Monstrous shark. In 2021, some fishermen accidentally caught a massive shark in their nets. This behemoth was over 30 feet long, and you can imagine the mass of a shark that size After taking some photos, they decided to put it back in the sea, but that was easier said than done. They attached its tail to a crane, but as they tried to lift it up, the rope snapped under the heavy weight, sending the shark falling back onto the deck. It seemed like the shark didn't want to go back to the sea just yet. Let's just hope those fishermen didn't get hurt and learn to tug a shark properly. Monstrous eel. In 2021, some fishermen cast a crab trap into the water, expecting a routine catch. But when they reeled it back in, they found more than just crabs. Inside the trap was a monstrous-looking creature, attempting to gobble up a crab. Carefully, they removed the crab from its mouth and released the bizarre catch back into the ocean. But when the footage hit the internet, wild theories flew around. Some speculated it was a monstrous fish created by scientists, while some suggested it was an alien fish. But in reality, this gnarly-looking creature was a wolf eel. And you know what? Despite its fearsome appearance, the wolf eel is no threat to humans. So, moral of the story? Never judge a book by its cover.
Alright, there we go. Oh.
Deep sea monster. Our seas harbor such monstrous animals that we couldn't even imagine. Take a look at this one. A massive, monstrous-looking creature was caught by some fishermen. It was so gnarly and aggressive, with massive jaws that looked like they could crush anything. They even threw a shell in its mouth. And trust me, this was a creature.
Now this joker look like he comfortable on land, don't he?
You would never want to get close to. But what was this terrifying beast? Well, after some digging, it turns out it was a deep-sea creature known as a monkfish. What's even more interesting is that this fish species is incredibly expensive, and its meat is considered to be very healthy. Sometimes appearances can be deceiving, right? Bug-eye fish.
What did we just catch? What the heck is this thing?
Out on a fishing trip, the group had an interesting catch with their Bowie rod, which had been stalling for a while. When they finally reeled in, it was something unusual and creepy. A fish with bulging eyes that literally popped out of its head and creepy teeth that made it look really sick. What was this bizarre creature?
Bro, like the coolest fish in the world. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Look at this thing.
Well, the catch turned out to be a pomfret, a deep-sea fish they caught using an eel for bait. They were both fascinated and grossed out by its odd appearance. It was a catch they wouldn't forget anytime soon. A real-life sea monster.
Buddy, put him right there. What a crazy looking fish. You see that guy?
Dark creature. Back in 2021, near the coast of southeastern North Carolina, a boat captain spotted something truly bizarre and mysterious. According to him, he was on his boat when he noticed this dark creature with a strange-looking body swimming ominously in the waters. He stayed quiet while filming, probably trying to avoid attracting its attention. When this footage surfaced on the internet, people went crazy over it. Some claimed it was the Loch Ness Monster, but skeptics weren't buying it. They insisted it might just be a whale or something more common. So what do you think it might be? Share your thoughts in the comment section. This encounter sure had everyone talking and speculating. Huge welcome. Whales are not just big, they're ginormous. But just how massive are we talking? Well, we're about to find out. A group of tourists were on a casual trip in the middle of the ocean, when out of nowhere they got the ultimate welcome party. Gray whales, the titans of the sea, decided to make an appearance. And they didn't just show up, they even got close up and personal. These gentle giants allowed the tourists to reach out and touch them. And you know what was even crazier? Their sheer size made the boats look like tiny toys in comparison.
See, that just goes to show you there are some friendly aliens out there. Look at these, you know? Just look at them.
Comparison. Now that's what I call a huge welcome. Massive bait. Out there in the vast waters of Russia, a group of sailors reeled in the catch of a lifetime. They were just casting their nets into the deep to catch some salmon, and suddenly they felt a weight unlike anything they've ever encountered. But what they pulled up wasn't a salmon. It was a whopping 12-meter-long shark. Now, here's where it got interesting. According to the sailors, the shark was already lifeless when it hit the net, probably due to a natural cause. So the savvy sailors tossed it back into the ocean, using it as bait to lure in even more salmon. Now that's what I call thinking on your feet. Catch robbery.
Oh no.
Back in 2015, a fisherman with his family was fishing at sea when he got the surprise of his life. He was reeling in his catch when suddenly the weight started decreasing. Now that was not something you see normally, right? But just when he thought he would lose his fish, out of nowhere, a giant shark leaped up and snatched the rest of his bait.
Damn.
This video went viral in no time, and people were buzzing with wild theories everywhere. But the question is, did the shark steal the man's catch? Or did the man hook the shark's catch first? Well, in deep seas, anything's possible. Strange fish.
Speak up there. What do you got there? Big sheep's head.
A decade ago, an Irish fisherman, armed with nothing but a fishing rod and a sense of adventure, reeled in a catch like no other. What sets this fish apart? Well, for starters, it had teeth that could give a human a run for their money. But here's where things got even more intriguing. Nobody knew exactly what kind of fish this was. Was it a one-of-a-kind genetic mutation, or were there more of them in the depths below?
Nah, man, he got people teeth. That's definitely a science experiment gone wrong. He got our teeth, bro. And his joints look clean a little bit too. They got a little bit of a yellowness to it, but that's to be expected. But they still a little bit clean, bro. This fish got veneers.
Some experts speculated it might belong to the enigmatic Spartia family, known for their ability to switch sexes. Whatever the case, this fish tail was bound to leave you hooked.
Look at those teeth. He wants to get a piece of you.
Battered shark. Meet the battle-scarred warrior of the deep, a great white shark with scars that could tell tales of past encounter. This shocking sight unfolded near the Neptune Islands during a diving retreat, where the divers glimpsed the resilience of this majestic predator. While some speculated that these scars were earned in clashes with ship propellers, skeptics found this explanation lacking and suggested the reason for the wounds might be the human hunters or tense confrontations where the shark narrowly escaped. But what if these scars hint at something even more extraordinary? Could they be the marks of battles with the mighty Meg? Share your thoughts down below. Open discussion. A fisherman was in the middle of the ocean hoping to catch something good, but little did he know he was about to hit the jackpot. As he was holding his rod, he felt a massive tug on the line, and when he reeled it in, he was shocked to see a monstrous black fish swimming in the sea. It was huge, almost the size of the man himself, and guess what? Real craziness began when they wrestled to put it in the freezer. And let me tell you, this catch wasn't just any fish, it was the giant bluefin tuna, a true ocean behemoth. Sometimes the sea surprises you in the most unexpected ways.